Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Leech On, a podcast where I'm leeched on to a certain topic for 15 minutes or more. Now, today I kind of want to talk about stories and perspectives and a little bit of catching up of where I am on my spirituality. But first, I wanted to talk about perspectives. Perspectives is a way of thinking about and understanding something. You may have a different perspective on a situation than I will, and that's what makes you, you, and what makes me, me. But a high person is one who has all perspectives, is a person who can see from your shoes, my shoes, and their own shoes. Because for you to be able to understand how a single situation can be perceived, in, like, my favorite example, I work at Starbucks. Trying to give you as much background knowledge, if you haven't worked there, drinks are made with syrups, milk, and espresso. So that's as simple as a Starbucks drink gets. Somebody comes in ordering a white chocolate, hot chocolate. Now, when you go on a Starbucks cup, you can write this in multiple ways. You could put hot chocolate in the drink box and then add white mocha. So then you would charge them for a hot chocolate and then add white mocha. Okay, you're still getting dark mocha. That would kind of be like a black and white hot chocolate. Someone else may write white mocha in the drink box but put no shots. So then it's white mocha with steamed milk. Somebody else might write steamed milk, add white mocha. Now, regardless what it may be, there's so many different ways to write one singular drink. They want mocha, and they want white mocha syrup, and steamed milk. No coffee, no dark chocolate. Now, going back to where I said with the hot chocolate, it would have been more like a hot chocolate, but like you would put in the drink box maybe sub M for WM. Regardless, it's still a hot chocolate. You're making it as a hot chocolate, but instead of dark chocolate, you're using white chocolate. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that there's different ways to go about a single outcome. The single outcome is white mocha with milk, but you can write it in different ways. And it all depends on who is the said person writing the cup. Now, at the end of the day, at the end of the line, this person is going to get their drink and be happy. It's just what everybody else has to go through for that drink to come out. Now, I might make it complicated and do the hot chocolate, but replace the mocha for WM, which is white mocha, and the person making the drink might have a hard time understanding where I'm coming from. And again, this comes down to perspectives. I, being the cup writer, have to put myself in a drink maker situation for 1 second just to be able to understand, oh, I'm getting this cup that somebody else wrote, and I have no idea what's going on in it because I didn't write the cup. So that's a simple, basic example of just putting yourself in somebody else's shoes or seeing from a different perspective that is not your own. My own perspective is, oh, well, obviously you can see I wrote sub mocha for white mocha. What can't you understand? Hey, you can't approach a situation like that because there's still confusion, and for me to bog them down on the confusion doesn't make the outcome any better. So in situations like that, that's where you would, see somebody else's perspective. As tiny as that is, it can apply. The same logic can apply to bigger issues. So with that being said, in perspective, sometimes some people's perspective of you is not the brightest. And this is where it comes down to self-growth and spirituality that I want to share with you guys. We are all human. I have made detrimental mistakes, and I don't present myself as my mistakes because I am not my mistakes. I am the byproduct of learning from my mistakes. Just as you have probably messed up somewhere in your life, you are not the messes up in your life. You are what has came out of the messes up in your life. And some messes up we cannot control. And as I hate to say that, because I love having control over things. I can be a little control freak sometimes. Sometimes I want to have everything in a neatly organized order. And when things don't go the order that I had projected, it's shit. And that's not exactly realistic because sometimes things don't happen to me, they happen for me. Sometimes it's not me messing it up, it's uncontrollable outside factors that are messing it up. Can I go and fight at the clouds and the weather for messing up my car? No. It's uncontrollable. I didn't say, okay, it's going to rain tomorrow and my car's going to get messed up. No. It just happened. And as sad as some of these out of control can be, sometimes they can relate with family, sometimes they can be horrible, sad traumas that have happened and that nobody deserves, but unfortunately people have went through them. At the end of the day, you are the byproduct of what has happened to you, not what happened to you, if that makes sense. What has happened to you has built you up to who you are now, but people don't look at you as, you fell and broke your knee when you were 4. That's all I see you as now. A person who broke their knee at 4. No, we see you as, okay, you broke your knee at 4. You had an amazing recovery, and now your knee is stronger than ever. That's what somebody can see you as. And unfortunately, in some stories, you have to be the villain. And that sounds sad. That sounds sad and almost can make you feel bad for yourself, especially when you're going through like a self-growing era. You're trying to level up. I already have a podcast episode all about leveling up. And as I wrote that as a high level, I know I can achieve there again. And I'm only doing every step way up to get there again. But the most important thing is to get up to the light. You have to endeavor the shadows. And different ways of belief go about them differently. I personally go through a lot of shadow work and do everything I once hated. I don't know if I ever said this in previous podcast episodes, but I would have hated to be alone. I hated being alone. I always had to be out. I had to be doing something. I had to be busy. I hated a day doing nothing because I felt unproductive. I've put myself through days where I do nothing. I've put myself through days where I'm not with anybody but myself. I had to sit myself in situations I found so uncomfortable just to be able to understand what I even found uncomfortable with them to begin with. Okay, I hated being alone. Think of it logically. I hated being alone because I didn't like to sit with my thoughts. Simple logic sentence. Okay, so I don't want to sit alone with my thoughts. I'm not going to be alone. I'm going to go distract myself and make new memories. And then when at the end of the day comes, I'm so drained socially that I just sleep. Repeat. I never have to sit alone with myself. But in order to grow, you have to go through uncomfortable situations. So I personally just kind of pulled myself out from everybody. I was like, listen, I love you guys, but I'm needing to take some time for myself. Everybody understood because I love my people. And that's the other thing is when you do things that are uncomfortable, you have to make sure you have a reliable support system that if it doesn't work out or it does work out, they're still there for you at the end of the day. And I can only thank my best friends for that, because even though I need to do things for myself, and sometimes that includes saying no to plans I always would have said yes to, they won't take it personal and they'll understand and only be able to send me love and light in return for my absence. And that's beautiful. That is beautiful. That is the people you want to surround yourself around, not people who are going to have you do bad habits just because they're bored, or put you down the wrong path just because they're already down on that path, or people who talk about you behind your back and be like, yeah, no, it's fine, I hope you have a great time. God, that bitch fucking sucks. Why is she not out here with us? No. And sometimes it's hard to tell what type of people are, because one thing I can teach you about people is people are so complex. You really don't know anybody, and that you don't have to take that as like, oh my gosh, I'm going to put walls around myself, I really don't know anybody. But just as you don't know anybody, nobody knows you. And with that, you can only present yourself as your most authentic self. That's why in my previous episode, I said, when you meet somebody, make sure you are always you. Because being on the underhand of somebody not being their full selves when I met them, it's rough, because it's like when now they are themselves, I don't know that because I've known this like facade version of them for so long. So it's like, this is a sudden switch up. And who am I to hate somebody for becoming their authentic self? It's not my place. I just simply see, okay, it doesn't resonate with me. You go your way, I go my way. No harsh feelings. And again, from going back that I used to be so black and white, in the past, would have taken this as, I fucking hate you, I want nothing to do with you. And I've been able to bog down more to, I want to see you eat, just not at my table. And that is the most gray area I've probably hit all year, because I know myself, and I know all year I have hit with this black and white mentality. Things go amazing or everything sucks, and that's not fair, because that's not what life is. Life can only be what you see it. Your reality can only be what you see. If you see life as gloomy and destructive and aliens are coming to come over, you will pick apart every detail that can fulfill your belief of what the world is. So with that being said, let the world be something you want to see it as. You want to see the world as beautiful and pure and kind. See it, and you'll be able to nitpick it in everything you see. My perfect example is if you want to see a purple car, you will see a purple car. And it's because your brain will do everything in its power to fulfill that subconscious mind belief of, I'm going to see a purple car. I'm going to see a purple car. Your conscious mind can only go around and scurr and like look around for a purple car to be able to fulfill your subconscious mind of, there's a purple car. So if you see and you want to become a fitness influencer in 2025, your vision board is all this and all that. Look at your vision board and tell your subconscious, this is my life. This vision board is just mini memories of my life. And your conscious can only go out and nitpick, okay, on your vision board, there's money. All right, your job, we're getting more hours, we're saving more money, we're cutting back from spending. Boom. Nitpick vision board 1. Vision board 2 says, or vision board pin 2 says, you're going to have a love that you deserve. You can only nitpick and be like, okay, I deserve a type of love like this. I will get a type of love like this. And then you tell that to your subconscious. Your conscious can only nitpick the love that you deserve. So coming back with spirituality, and this year being a bit rough for me, I lost track that that's how the reality works. And so in losing track of that, I got so bogged down in negative. Since I was so black and white, it was like, oh, well, if shit sucks, shit sucked. But it doesn't need to be like that. It can be good and then have a down day. But then I'm still good. Not, I'm only down and I will never go back up again. Because that's utterly unrealistic. When you go down, the only way out is up. You want to get out, you got to go up. So with that being said, sometimes you have to be the villain in somebody else's story. And going back to your reality is what you see, you cannot let that be something that bogs you down. You can do the shadow work and sit and grow and be like, fuck, I messed up. And if your heart breaks knowing you were the villain in somebody's story, make sure you do enough grounding and enough shadow work and enough work on yourself that you know and you are confident that you will never be the villain in somebody else's story again. Sometimes you have to be it once to know that you never want to be in it again. And some people, they don't know what to be anything but a villain in somebody's story. And it's sad. It's sad. But they are, in reality, almost like a helping vessel. They are the one who teaches you all the lessons that you need to grow. We cannot know what hurt feels like until we elicit pain, until we feel pain. Until we inflict pain, until we feel the pain. We can only know that, okay, ow, that hurts. I don't want to be hurt again. Why am I going to hurt myself? Why is this hurt going to have to happen again? So sometimes it's simple logics like that, but I feel like online has been one of the biggest things that has had me feel so comfortable in my sadness. I go on TikTok and it's like just constant back-to-back shattering, heartbreaking poetry about a situation that I relate to so deeply. I'm like, what the freak? Who the freak read my mind and put it into beautiful, beautiful poetry? And it's like, wait, me. I did that. I created my own For You page to make it seem as if sadness is something to find comfort in. And it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be that way. So if you're finding, your sign or what you need to do next, let this be your sign of change. Let this be, oh man, well, my life sucks. I don't see nothing but failure in front of me. My home life is rough. Be the difference. Be the difference, because sometimes your environment cannot change until you have put yourself in new soil. And it's hard. It's hard because you're thinking, oh, well, a plant can't grow legs and put itself in its own pot, but it can show signs to others that it needs a new pot. Oh, why is my plant decaying? Oh, it needs new soil. Why is my plant so miserable? Oh, it needs a new pot. And in being able to realize that, that's where like the shadow work comes in. Okay, I realize things are rough right now. And I realize I made mistakes. This rough thing happened. But you can only be honest with yourself. Why continue to lie with yourself when you are your bestest friend? You are there for you when nobody else is. Like I've said before, I love my friends, but they're not here right now. I'm by myself. So at the end of the day, I need to be so secure and so confident. You have to be so secure and so confident in yourself that nobody can shake you up. Because at the end of the day, you have you, and you need to appreciate you while you have you. Because as I've said before, I've been in relationships and I become such a yes man and don't want to argue with them. It goes their way, not my way at all. And I end up silencing myself. And it's sad because it's like, why would anybody want to do that to themselves? But it's not like my conscience was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna silence myself. It was more just like a act of surrender. I had become so weak that I realized that the only way I could realize I needed to grow or strengthen myself is to succumb to somebody else. And does that mean that that person had like this power authority over me? No, this is something I set upon myself. And sometimes people don't realize that. You ask for pity from others, but realize that you put yourself in that own situation. And it's like, can I really feel bad? Can anyone really feel bad for me when I put myself in this? So when you can learn stuff like that, you can only grow from your learnings. Again, people make mistakes, and they are the byproduct of what they learned from their mistakes. So, with that being said, know you are strong, know you are capable, and instead of having a victim mindset and being like, oh, everything sucks, and I'm only down, and I can't find a way up, realize that you have the power to get yourself out of it. And it is hard. But once you realize that that is your full potential, and the only way you can get out is up, it starts to make things a bit more motivating. And yeah, people sometimes will ask me, oh, how you doing? I mean, I'll answer truthfully, yeah, I'm struggling. It's hard, but it's not impossible. It's hard, but it's not doable. It's doable. It's possible. And I'm doing everything I can to stop struggling and to be better. But I have to struggle to get out. So, with that being said, this might be the last podcast episode for 2024. Thank you guys all for your support. I really appreciate it. From y'all's comments to seeing my face on other people's stories, I appreciate it all. And I cannot be here without you guys. And, you know, it is so beautiful to know that I'm not the only one that goes through these things, you know. To know that people have messaged me individually and have been like, Priscilla, you know, I went through XYZ, your episode really helped me, could you talk about ABC? And I'm like, yeah, I got you, but let's talk about your XYZ for a little bit, because hey, same level, I've been there, done that, we can help one another. And that is the beauty of social media at the end of the day, the beauty that I could connect with others even though they're a couple miles away. So if you guys ever need anything, you can shoot me on my social medias, and I want you guys to know I'm here for you, never against y'all. Now, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you guys had a good year. I'll see y'all next year. Bye.